Hello, hello. I am live and I am looking forward to bringing you up to date on my summer, how things are going for me, some updates on what's coming up and what I'm excited about. And I'm waiting for some people to join. I see somebody has joined. I am, as I said, excited about this live stream. And the reason I'm excited about it is because I've had a full summer and I know you probably have too. And it's always fun to just catch up and answer questions. All right. So, just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Patricia Brooks, and I am an American who moved to France in 2018. And I came on a sabbatical. I was not working. I just knew I needed a change. And so I came. And now it's been 8.5 years. And now I have created a business for myself, helping people who are ready to start the next chapters of their lives living and thriving in a foreign country. I help them to build the mindset so that they can have the kind of lives they want. And on this channel, I talk about my life in France, about moving abroad, and how to create the kind of life that really speaks to you. I think a lot of times we can spend a big chunk of our lives doing things that don't really suit us. And we get to a point where we're like, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm ready to live for me. And that's what I help people do. And it feels so good to be living or walking the talk. All right. So I see a few people have joined. If you can hear me, let me know that in the comments. Where are you joining from, and what are you most excited about having done or that's coming up for you this summer? So type that in the chat and we can go ahead and get started. As I said, this is going to be a fairly casual conversation. I'm going to be sharing some things about what's coming up. In terms of the Women Rising Roundtable, in terms of a partnership that I just started and that I think you will find very interesting, very helpful, but as well as answering questions that you might have for me. All right. So we've got Laura 8674. Thank you for joining. And I guess you can hear. Yes, I'm so glad that you're catching the live stream live. Who else do we have joining? Let me know in the chat. Well, it's been a hot summer, and there have been some wildfires here in France. And I know that it has gotten coverage in the United States because I've had a few people reach out to me to see how I was doing, if I was impacted by the fires. And I am safe. The fires have gotten close, but not too close, but getting a little bit too close for comfort. And I do have a couple of shots that I want to show you. It was the beginning of July that I got an alert on my phone. It was the first time that I got a message like, meep, meep, meep. And it alerted me to the fact that there were fires in the area. And somebody had mentioned it earlier in the day. Oh, can you smell smoke where you are? And I'm like, yeah, no. And I don't see smoke. Everything's okay here. But this was at nighttime that I got this alert. And this is what the alert said. This was the alert that got sent out. And it basically says that the residents of the following communities, in Céret and Céret, they must evacuate. And Céret, there was a huge fire, and that is only about 30 miles from where I am. So in the beginning of the morning, it was a Sunday. That morning, I didn't see anything. I didn't smell anything. But when I got this alert, I had to open up my blinds because I'm going to talk about why I'm keeping my blinds closed now in the summer. To see, if I could see anything going on. And in fact, I opened the blinds, I opened the windows, and I could smell strong smoke, and I could see a plume of smoke. And, you know, that was scary. Like you can see I hope you can see what I'm sharing on the screen, that plume of smoke. And so that is from the Céret fire. And in the message that got sent out that evening, there were like two communities that were really close by. One is about 8 miles away. They had to evacuate, and another one is probably maybe 15 miles away. And so that was really scary. But I'm okay. And there's still fires here in France. But right now in my area, we don't have any, knock on wood. So, and I appreciate your concern and asking me about that. So yeah, so I wanted to share that with you because it's real. And it's not comfortable. In terms of the weather and the temperature, I know you've probably seen stories about how hot it has been in Paris. It has been very hot here where I am in the south as well. I think we are a little bit cooler, a few degrees. I think we've been getting up to like 98, maybe 99 some days. I think we have topped 100, but not like it has been in some of the bigger cities like Lyon and Paris. And so one of the things that I have done this summer, I haven't really done it regularly in past summers because we've had hot summers, but it hasn't been like 98 degrees every day for 2.5 months. It's hot and then it cools off. It cools off enough at night that, you get some respite. But this summer has been brutal. And so what the French have here are what they call volets, which are shutters. And I have them on my apartment, and they close them in the heat of the summer day to keep the heat out. And I balked at that for the years I've been living here. Once in a while, I would do it when the temperatures got really hot. But I live in one of the sunniest parts of France, and I'm here for that reason. And to close my shutters and be in the dark in my apartment, and I work in my apartment all day, was not something that I felt like I wanted to do. Now, I do have air conditioning here in my living room. I don't have it in my bedroom, and I've got a fan kind of geared to kind of shoot the cool air toward my bedroom so that at nighttime it's at least tolerable. But I've been closing every day. I've been closing my shutters around 10 or 10:30. Every day. And in the beginning, it really was driving me stir crazy. That being in the dark, feeling like I'm shut in. I was like, oh yeah, I think this must be what prisoners feel like when they are, in a solitary confinement in a dark and closed space. Of course, it's not the same because I've got room to walk around, but still there's something that happens with my brain that doesn't feel really good. But I'm starting to get used to it. And what I do now is the last couple of weeks, I've gone out in the evenings, even though it's still a little bit warm. Sometimes it's still, like 95 degrees at 9 o'clock at night, but I'll go out. The sun is lower in the sky. I'll go out for, 20 or 30-minute walk to kind of get some of that sun and some of that vitamin D that I feel like I need. So I'm doing okay. I feel very fortunate to have air conditioning in my living room. And so I can't complain. I see some other people have joined, and I see there's a question in the chat. Let me see what we got going on here. Laura is looking forward to the fall and cooler weather. Yes, I am too. It's been, like I said, it's been really pretty hard. But today and yesterday, and I think the rest of this week is going to be a little bit cooler here. Like right now, it's in the upper 70s, and I think like tomorrow it's going to be like mid 80s. Might be humid, but it's going to not be in the upper 90s. So I'm looking forward to that too. And Linda says, glad I can join tonight. I'm looking forward to investing in a small property in the Perpignan area. nowhere near wildfires. Well, you know, I didn't think I would be near wildfires. So yeah, hopefully that will be the case for you too. And that's it. That is exciting. I can't wait for you to find the property and invest and be here. All right, let's see. So air quality. Laura is asking me, how am I dealing with air quality? Um, in Colorado, there have been some bad fires, and the air here is pretty bad. The air here is not like, except for that one day that I showed you, the picture of that plume of smoke. Um, we are not. I haven't smelled smoke since, and that was early July. Air quality in terms of the humidity, the last few days, maybe the last few weeks, it's been heavy. Though the air's been heavy, and it's been, it's hard to breathe when it's that humid. But in terms of smoke, no, we don't. I'm not having a problem with that here. All right, and enchantment after 50, yes. Oh, thank you. Good vibes from the Bahamas. Woohoo! And Kristen has joined temporarily in San Diego. Yes, looking forward to seeing you again soon. And you're most excited about getting back to Céret. Yes, yes. We miss you. We miss you. Hi, Dion. I'm so glad you could join. Yes, the California fire seasons. Yes, they are intense. I can't imagine having to live there with that and the air quality and just, the destruction and the fear of, oh, is it going to get out of control, and, am I going to have to evacuate? It's really a scary thing. Hi, Angela. Bonsoir. I believe you're in Bordeaux. I know somebody who is planning a scouting trip there, the end of September. So perhaps if you're open, I might put them in touch with you. Let me know. All right. All right. So that talks about, the wildfires, the heat, how I'm dealing with it, and how I am kind of becoming a little more French and closing my shutters. That's something I never thought that I would do, but it really does, keep it a few degrees cooler. And if I can help my AC not to work too hard, I'm gonna do that. So, all right. Let's see. Natina. Hi, Natina, another Carefree Expat Incubator Program member. Dion is one as well. In London right now, yes. I hope you are eating lots of wings and hot sauce with those wings. And jerk chicken. I know that you were looking forward to that. All right. So that is the temperature, the heat, the weather update for me. Now, last week on the 12th of August, we had an eclipse here, and the path of totality went through Valencia, Spain. And I did not go all the way down to Valencia or even closer to Valencia to get totality, because where I am, it was 98%. And I thought, you know what, that's going to be good enough. That's going to be pretty spectacular as well. And in fact, in the last recorded video I published, talking about what are you tolerating, I was scouting out a site to see whether or not I would be high enough to see the eclipse, because I'm kind of in a valley, and I know where the sun sets, that it was around sunset. I knew that I wouldn't be able to see it from where I am in town. So I went up to the Chapelle Saint Ferial to see if it would be high enough, and it was just high enough. But the day that I went, it was cloudy. And so I thought, okay, this could work, but if it's a day like the day I was there, we're not going to see anything. And fortunately, the weather cooperated. It was hot. It was hot, hot, hot. Um, but the weather cooperated. It was fairly clear. Saw a few clouds floating by as the moon was crossing the path of the sun, but it wasn't too bad. And there were lots of people up there having picnic dinners. And it was this sort of very festive atmosphere. So I was looking forward to it, since the spring, because I remember the eclipse, I think, happened in 2017 in the US. I was at work. I remember going out to the parking lot, in the afternoon, and I didn't know anything about the eclipse, so I didn't have eclipse glasses, and I tried to make something, a viewer out of a shoebox, and that was, not really that good. So in the spring, I ordered my eclipse glasses, and it came in a package of 25. So I had eclipse glasses to spare. Eclipse glasses to spare. And with these things, you can't see a thing. Like, I can't see you right now. It's completely blacked out. But some people didn't have eclipse glasses, and they had brought their x-rays. I think one woman had her mammogram x-ray. It looked like that's what it was. And she was holding it up and looking through that. And I'm not so sure if that is, blocks out enough or not, but there were a couple of people who were doing that. So I wouldn't try that. I would definitely, if there's an eclipse, get the glasses. I got the glasses that are ISO approved. So, but it was wonderful. I went with a couple of friends. We had a picnic, and the miniature of this live stream is of us watching the eclipse. And I'm kind of like lounging, but it's because there's a tree that's right in front of me. So I'm leaned to the side so I can see around the tree. And I saw a good deal of it. And actually I've got some footage of this. Now, a friend, I didn't get any pictures of it, but a friend sent me some pictures that her husband took with a better camera than my phone. And this is what he got. These are the clouds. I hope you can see the PowerPoint that I just put up. You can see how there were some clouds that went by in the left image. And then, that's, I guess, probably close to the 98% totality. And then this is where they were viewing from. They were further away from Céret. They were, I think, closer to Perpignan. So the sun was a little higher than where I was viewing it. So, but they said there were a lot of people as well. One of my clients had said that her daughter had seen the eclipse in 2017. And she said it was really kind of a surreal experience, how, when there was the eclipse, there were a lot of people around, but then as soon as it was complete, or as complete it was as it was going to get, that the birds stopped chirping and the people stopped talking. It was silence. And she said, I wonder if it's going to be like that for you. Well, it was not like that. Unfortunately, because I think that would have been a really neat experience. There were a lot of people there, and there were a lot of people who did not have glasses, so they weren't looking at the eclipse. And so it's kind of like they say that if you're riding in a car with somebody and you're talking to them, that's safer than if the driver is talking to somebody on a cell phone, because the passenger in a car can see the obstacles that are coming, and they know to stop talking so that you can maneuver around whatever is in front of you. But if the person on the cell phone can't see that, and I think that was what was happening with the people who didn't have eclipse glasses. They weren't looking up. They didn't know that, oh my gosh, this is the 98% eclipse that we were waiting for, so that they could just peer and take it in. And so there was still a lot of chatter. So it was a little disappointing, but still I got to see I got to see the eclipse, and the weather cooperated. So I was so excited that happened, that I didn't have to go too far to see it. Um, so yeah, so that's my and then I have a couple of pictures of me and my friends. My friend, she was taking a picture of herself, and I decided I was going to photobomb her in the left picture. And then you can see the tree that I was trying to. You look around when I was leaned to the side in the picture that's on the cover of this live stream video. So yeah, so it's been a wonderful summer. I have also had the opportunity to meet an American jazz singer. We had a jazz festival here the beginning of August. We do every year. I think it's been going on for 3-4 years now. And I was there at a cafe, having a drink with a friend. And there was this concert, because they have a main concert on stage that you would pay for, but then they have, the concerts in front of the cafes. And they were warming up, and she sounded good. And then I stayed around to watch her, sing a couple of songs. And I was like, wow, she has such a soulful voice. And I actually posted something over on Instagram, so you may want to check that out. But, I got up because I, needed to get back and get something to eat. And when I got up, somebody I know, a musician I know here, said, "Oh, do you know her? Have you met them? They're Americans." And so he introduced me to her husband, who was in the, sitting at a table watching. And so I got to talk to him. And then when she took a break, I got to talk to her. So it was a really, really neat experience. Her name is Carla. So you may want, like I said, you want to check out my Instagram, the Courage Catalyst, and you can see a little clip of that. So the summer has been going really well. And I'm really excited because next week I'm having a really good friend, somebody I've known since 1986, 1987. We worked together at the amusement park Great Adventure for a couple of summers. She's coming to visit. So we're going to spend some time together, and we're going to catch up. So that is what I am looking forward to. All right. And we got Cynthia from New York City joining. Thank you for joining. All right. So we've talked about the summer heat. We've talked about the eclipse. We talked about the jazz festival. There are some administrative updates as well that I want to bring to your attention. If a couple of videos ago, a couple of live streams ago, I was talking about, the tax office and waiting in line to, get help with my taxes. And the saga continues. This morning, I went back to the tax office because September is when they will take money out of your bank account, saying if it shows that you owe, they're just going to dip into your bank account and take it out. And the problem that I've had is that there is this treaty that allows me to take U.S.-based investment income and take some funds from that from time to time, and without having to pay taxes on it. But the problem is that the person who was helping me there couldn't figure out what box to tick so that would be eliminated and not show that I owe almost 4,000 euros. And so it's still showing that that's what I owe. And so I wanted to get that taken care of. So I spent about an hour and a half this morning trying to get that taken care of. The person who helped me before, it's August, so the person who helped me before is on vacation. So the person I was talking to had no clue what was going on. So the saga continues. So that's one thing, but I do have some good news as well. I am up for renewal. My carte de séjour is up for renewal. It will expire in the middle of next month. And so the end of June, middle of June, June 22nd, exactly, I sent a message to the prefecture in Perpignan saying, I need an appointment. And I hadn't heard anything back. Maybe a week and a half ago, I hadn't heard anything back. So I sent them an email and nudged them and saying, hey, my carte de séjour is about to expire. And a couple of days later, they sent me an appointment. Now, the appointment is the 31st of August, which is good because it's just in between the time that I'll be, in Barcelona, right? So that felt really well. And they sent me an attachment of a list of the items that I need to bring. Now I have a list that I got from the internet, and I have all the documents. The only thing I need to do is buy the fiscal stamp. I think it's 225 or 250, maybe might have gone up, euros for that before I go into the appointment. But I still want to get the list that the prefecture says I need so that I can double check to make sure that I have everything. And so as soon as I got the appointment and saw it was the wrong list, I sent them a message saying, oh, thank you for the appointment. Can you send me the list of documents for the 10-year resident card? And it's a week later, hadn't heard anything back. So I sent a follow-up. And so I think that I might just go into Perpignan. And I know the prefecture, you need an appointment, and they might just turn me away. But if somebody at the front desk could just print that out for me and bring it out to me, that would be wonderful. And then I could kind of feel a little bit more at ease, because it's going to be about a week and a half away, and I want to make sure that I'm prepared, that I have everything they say that I need to have. So I think it might be worth the trip in. So that is an update. And then, so I was excited to get that. I was like, okay, it's moving along. I've got an appointment. My papers will soon be in process. And so that feels really good. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to, process it, look at it, approve it. I'm putting that out into the universe. But just having it in process will make me feel so much better. Another positive note is, well, once I get the physical resident card, then I'll be able to apply for French citizenship. And I don't have everything I need for that, because I need some documents. I need an FBI background check because I haven't been in France for 10 whole years. So I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that apostilled. My birth certificate needed to be apostilled. My mom's birth certificate needed to be apostilled. I think there's some other documents that I will need to have apostilled. And I was a little bit concerned, how am I going to navigate that from here? I could pay a service, thousands of dollars to do it, a service that I don't have much confidence in. Can I do it from afar? And a friend, Kristen, actually got me some U.S. international stamps so that I could try the process from here, sending my birth certificate back to the United States, to the State Department of Pennsylvania, have them apostille it, enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope with U.S. international stamps, and see if I would get it back or if it would get lost in the mail, because you can't track it. And a couple of days ago, I got it in the mail. So I'm like, okay, I think this is a way that I can process the documents. I just need to probably, start doing that now, so that when my resident card arrives, I can have the documents and then, pull the trigger on, applying for citizenship as well. So that's another positive as well. So things aren't all bad administrative wise. Things are moving along, and I can't complain. All right, what else we got going on in the chat? Angela Sims Evans, I love jazz. What are the dates for next year? Maybe we can meet up and listen to some jazz music. It's usually the first week of August. I don't know if they have dates yet or not, but it's usually that first week of August. Well, actually, not sure when. It was the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, I think, this year. So, and I think that kind of lines up with the first week. But yes, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun, because they have some really good groups that come. And like I said, Carla, she was in front of the cafes for 2 nights, but then she was on the main stage one night. And the thing that was really interesting with her was her husband was telling me, well, this was the first time she was performing with the 2 men who were playing instruments on the stage, because they've been working through Zoom or, online, because she was in the US. And so it was amazing, because what she was singing, it was like, they've been playing together for years. She's really, really good. So yes, Angela, let's plan to do that. Okay. All right. So France imports, I saw the totality in 2017 in Idaho. The dogs laid down to sleep, birds stopped chirping, and the temp instantly dropped. It was magical, hoping to go to Egypt for the next August totality. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for, like, it was late in the day, like it was at sunset. So like there weren't a whole lot of birds going to be chirping here, but I was hoping that it wouldn't be just a lot of just background chatter. I was hoping to have that kind of a similar silent experience. And well, maybe, maybe I'll go chase an eclipse someplace and have that someplace else. But thank you for sharing. Linda Firth, how do you celebrate during the Christmas festivities this year? Or how will you this year? Do you help out with local events at all? So here in Céret, we don't, we have, in Perpignan, there's a Christmas market. I think it's a little, when I was living there in 2018, I think it was a little bit bigger than it is today. And sometimes I go there, sometimes I don't. Here we have a little bit of a Christmas market, but it's, a weekend. It's not like, 3 weeks, during December. And they also have rides for children that they bring in. And so, and here in Céret, I believe it's free of charge for the kids. So that's kind of neat. But I typically don't do a whole lot for Christmas. I'm here. Sometimes I will have a Christmas meal with friends. Last year I did, but sometimes it's just a real quiet day. And I don't intend to help out with any local events, but one thing that is coming up that I'm looking forward to as well is the beginning of September. I think it's the first weekend in September, first Saturday in September. We have what's called the Association Fair, which is, the associations are clubs that you can join and participate in. So I've been a member of the Qigong Club here. I've taken music lessons, and that's an association. And so this fair, all the associations come and they have a table or a stand, and they talk about, what they offer. So what activities you can sign up for and participate in. But I don't really have anything. I don't have any plans to help out with anything around the holidays. Although somebody might tap me on the shoulder and say, "Oh, we need your help," and if I'm free, I will. All right. Pineapples in LA. Do I ever take the train to Monaco, south of France? So I'm in the other south of France, I'd like to say, because I am close to the Spanish border. So like Nice and is closer to Monaco, is closer to Italy. And I have been to Nice. Last year I went to Nice, and I did go to Italy to kind of check it out. But I'm in the other south of France, and it's surprisingly hard for me to get to Nice by train from here. I think I have to do 2 transfers, and I'm not a big traveler. So if I have to do 2 transfers, I really need to want to get to a place. And so I kind of, not a big traveler, as I said. I kind of stay put here. I haven't been anywhere really big this year. Sometimes I will go up to Paris, but I haven't been to Paris in a while either. Kind of a homebody. And in my south of France, I have a car. So sometimes I do go to Spain, which is about 10 minutes from me. And the Dali Museum is about 45 minutes from me. And that's always a neat place to see. Barcelona is about 2 hours away, and Girona is about an hour, a little over an hour away. So I spend some time in Spain. And then sometimes I, will travel or hike around areas not too far from here. I don't go too far afield. So thank you for asking. All right. So what else do we got on the docket? Oh, what's coming up? Okay. So a couple of weeks ago, I got an email from somebody who is the founder of a really neat platform called EasyFranceNow. And he reached out to me to see if I wanted to partner with him and his company and share what they have to offer. And so we met last week, and we had a really good conversation. And I decided to say, yeah, I'd like to be an affiliate and, talk about his service, his platform, because I think it could be really helpful to you if you are planning to move to France and you need a plan. And EasyFranceNow, I'm going to read what I've got here so that I get it right. Is the number one platform for Americans who are looking to move abroad and to settle in, to move to France and settle in here. It provides practical guidance across the entire relocation journey, from visas and residency to housing, banking, healthcare, taxes, administration, and more. And at the heart of EasyFranceNow is the platform called France Navigator. Now, France Navigator is a comprehensive platform featuring 50 interactive tools, a personalized roadmap, and carefully sourced weekly updated information covering every aspect of your move. It provides clear, detailed, and up-to-date guidance backed by reliable sources, helping users understand the process, stay organized, and navigate their move to France step by step with confidence. And not only, the move abroad, but then once you get here, if you're going to need to do the driver's license exam or do the exchange, there's information about that too. So it's, getting you here, but also helping you to settle in here. And it is really, really, really neat service. And let me see if I can't share my screen so I can show you the website. Let's do this. All right. Can you see my screen? This is the EasyFranceNow website. And this is talking all about the navigator. It talks about, tax treaties, and it's all in one place. I think that's what's really neat about it. And I think this is a really good, collaboration for me, because while a lot of times people are looking to make a move to France, they don't know where to start. And this is exactly what you need, that shows you the process, the steps, and helps give you some confidence about what you're doing because the resources are all in one place. Now, what tends to happen is once people realize that, okay, I've been telling myself for a long time that I don't know where to start. Now I know where to start. I have this really neat application, and yet I'm still dragging my feet. I'm still not clearing out that attic. I'm still not doing the things that are required. That means there is a deeper block. And that's where I come in as a life coach. I help people to navigate that and create the mindset that will help them move abroad. But as you can see on the screen, this navigator has a lot. And you know what we're going to do? We are on September 17th, Maxime, who is the co-founder of EasyFranceNow, and we're going to have a live stream, and we are going to do a demo of that. So if that sounds of interest to you, be sure to save the date. Be sure to set a reminder. I will drop a link to the live stream link in the chat so that you can have that. And so I just did that. The good news is that the folks at EasyFranceNow have given me the opportunity to offer you a 10% discount with a coupon code. And so let me get you that information as well. Put that in the chat, and you can, it's in the description of this live stream as well. So, but I'm going to put it in the chat too right now, so you can have that if you are interested. Really think it's a really neat tool. And as I was sharing with Maxime, I asked him, are you familiar with the commercial, the easy button? And he wasn't. So I had to send him some commercials, some of the Staples commercials, so he could have an understanding what that was. I think this is going to be an easy button for people who are planning a move abroad and who want to have support, but who may not want to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for it. All right. So, so that is something else that I'm really excited about. Does that sound like something that could help you? If you've already made a move abroad, does that sound like something that would have been nice to have when you were doing it? And if you were planning a move abroad, does that sound like something that you are interested in and are thinking about, signing up for that to help you with that? Let me know in the comments. I know that, as a project manager, that tool was like, that spoke to me. I'm like, yeah, this is slick. This is going to help a lot of people. All right. So that is happening September 17th, the live stream with Maxime. And so you'll get to know him a little bit about his story too, because he has lived abroad as well. So he is not just coming to it from the perspective of a developer, but from somebody who has experienced what it's like to live in a foreign country. But as I was saying that, when you move abroad, it takes the logistical piece, but it also takes making sure that you have got the mindset of the kind of person who moves abroad confidently and sustainably. And in my group coaching program for single women called the Carefree Expat Incubator Program, there's a whole module that is all about creating the identity that will allow you to take the steps that are required so that you can pack up your things, get on a plane, and move to your dream country. And last month earlier this month during the live stream, somebody, I think it was Dion, asked about what is the next Women Rising Roundtable? What is the topic and when is it going to be? Well, I have decided on that. And it's going to be on September 26th. That's a Saturday. And the topic is going to be, let me get the title right, because I just created it. It is called Who Are You Beneath Labels? Who are you beneath your labels? Letting go of the identity that's holding you back. And that really kind of speaks to when we really want to do something different, something that is big and we've never done before, we can really doubt our ability to do it. We might have self-doubt or fear that keeps us stuck, that keeps us not doing the things that we need. And what we need to do is we need to create new habits and new thought patterns so that we can be consistent with the things that we need to do so that we can have the kind of life that we want, or create, have the transformation that we want so that we can do the thing that we're going for. And so the next Women Rising Roundtable is all about that. And if you are interested in signing up for that, the sign up is available now. You can go to thecouragecatalyst.com/roundtable. And this is what you will get. Who are you beneath the labels? Letting go of the identity that's holding you back. And however you identify, sometimes we have labels either that we put on ourselves or that other people do, and we adopt them that may have been helpful in the past, but are keeping us stuck, safe and small. And when we realize that and we do things to change that, to shift into a new identity, we can have a different kind of life, right? And so this is for you if you are, let me share my screen. So this is for you if you are somebody who feels stuck, and you want to move forward in an area of your life, but you're not really sure what's keeping you stuck. If you are saying to yourself, I'm just not the kind of person who does that, or I could never do that. If you second guess yourself a lot, if you feel like you want to create meaningful change, but it feels outside your comfort zone, this is the round table for you. So definitely check it out. Go to thecouragecatalyst.com/roundtable, sign up. Roundtables are really neat events for women who are looking to step into their agency and feel more empowered, and to connect with like-minded women. The last roundtable we had in July was all about intuition and tapping into that. And we had an amazing roundtable. I think it was the best roundtable yet. So you want to make sure that you, if you're interested, that you sign up before seats are gone. All right. So that's something else that's happening. And let me go ahead and put the link to that. The link to that is in the description, but I'm also going to put it in the chat here for you now. September, Women Rising Roundtable. Here's the link. All right. All right, so there's that. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat besides me. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sending them. And I have to tell you this. So I sent my birth certificate and my mom's birth certificate back to the United States, and with that self-addressed stamped envelope. I put 3 international stamps on it, and I took it to the post office here, and I took it the same day that I sent something for you, which cost a lot more, right? It was certified and all of that. And she had already, put it in the mail. And when I was walking back home, I thought, oh, maybe I should have put more international stamps on. What if I didn't put enough stamps on? But it arrived safe and sound. I think the next time I'm just going to load it up with even more. And I think what I'm going to do is put my return address in the States in case it doesn't have enough. Then my friend can send it on to me. But thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we can talk about that. Because Utah wouldn't work for me because I'm in all these different states. I got married in Nevada, no, I don't think that you'd be able to help me, but thank you for offering. Let's see what else. How hard is it to get your license in France? Well, good question. If you are from one of 17 or 18 US states, there is a driver's license exchange program. So after 90 days of being in France, you can submit your paperwork to just exchange your driver's license. That's what I did. I'm from Virginia. That's what I did. And it was pretty easy for me. Like it was pretty easy for me. If you need to take the French driver's exam and do the whole rigmarole, I understand the driving exam is challenging even for French native speakers. And so there is also the driving school that you have to go to, which is a little bit costly, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 euros. So it can be done. I haven't had to do it by taking the driving test, but I hear it's challenging. So, but I can't speak to that, from experience. All right, let's see. Oh, there's lots here. Um, the date for the association day is, I believe, September 5th. I believe it's September 5th. So if there's some sort of activity, if you're not back, and if there's some sort of activity that you are looking for, I can definitely pick up the information for you. All right. That's me. Okay, thank you. The roundtable topic is so on point. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a good one because, as I said, I have a whole module in my group coaching program, and it's invaluable because if we've not done something before, you know, for me, I think about the person I was before I became fluent in French. I was somebody who's thought my brother got the language gene. So, like in high school and college, I didn't really apply myself, right? Okay. I didn't have the identity of somebody who speaks two languages, right? Who could learn a second language. And so, definitely, my identity had to shift in order for me to put the work in so that I could get to the level that I am today. And it's true with anything, with moving abroad or writing a book or anything that you do. If you don't see yourself as that kind of person, you're going to struggle to make it happen. And the reason that I have that as a whole component of my program is because I read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. And in it, there's a part where he talks about two different people who are working to stop smoking, right? And each of them is offered a cigarette. One of them says, when they're offered a cigarette, "Oh, would you like a cigarette?" Says, "Oh, no, thank you. I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to quit." While the other person is offered a cigarette and says, "Oh, no, thank you. I don't smoke." And so, like, there's a huge energy shift in, "Oh, I'm trying to quit," versus, "Oh, I'm not a smoker," right? It's night and day. And so when you're able to say, "Oh, yeah, I am this kind of person," it changes the game. It allows you to put in the work. It allows you to swat away that self-doubt that may come up, but you're retraining your brain, and it's a powerful tool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the roundtable. Let's see what else we got here. Laura says, just looked and Colorado qualifies for Class B. Woohoo! Celebrate, celebrate. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen. If you've never done a roundtable with Patricia, do it. They are so worthwhile. Thank you for saying that. At the end of every roundtable, we spend, I've upped it. It used to be 2.5 hours. I've made it 3 hours just because at the end I was always running out of time. Like it's powerful. End the session and I say, "Oh, wow. I needed that." And then, the what people gain from it, the shifts that happen, it's just tremendous in such a short amount of time. So thank you for sharing that, Kristen. All right. So is there anything else that I have too many papers here? Is there anything else I wanted to address? If you got questions for me, be sure to drop them in the comments before we wrap up. We talked about the navigator. Yeah, we talked about the live stream next month and the roundtable. So yeah, no questions, no more questions. Yeah, okay. Well, if there are no more questions, we can call it a live stream. I'm so glad that you were able to join me live. Oh, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. It helps people see this who need to see this. Share it with friends. Be sure to share it with friends as well. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. And I will see you again next time. Oh, and my next video, my next recorded video is going to be in French. I've done a couple of videos in French, and they're really pretty challenging to do. I feel like having a conversation with somebody is so much more fluid for me than standing up or sitting down and just speaking to a camera. So, but I feel like it's going to help me to continue to improve. And if you're learning French, it might help you too as you're learning. So that is my goal. Next Thursday is my goal to have that up for you. All right. So thank you so much for joining me live. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye for now.